Good afternoon, and happy Monday. And thank you for joining me for another office hours training. I am Crystal Gunn, your financial strategist. Part of my job as a strategist, be it on the business side or the personal side, is to help you create, well, actually heal and redefine your personal financial relationship and create one so that it provides a solid foundation on which you can grow, right? I also help you to have some aha moments, some self-discovery moments, helping you see what no longer serves you so that you can release all of that and soar. I also help to bring you information that you may not have thought about, had some misconceptions about, have been unsure about. All of that helps with those breakthroughs. That's where you start to shift. That's where the magic happens, be it in your personal finances or your overall business. And so today is the last day of September. Hey, and it is the last day of September. The employees at the port are supposed to go on strike tomorrow. So you want to make sure today, if you have not already, go to the grocery store, buy some stuff, stock up, because if they go on strike, depending upon how long that strike is, we're going to see prices climb some more. So you may want to stock up on some things. So that's total side note. But anyway, all of August and September was dedicated to life insurance. September was and is today still Life Insurance Awareness Month. So in August, I talked about misconceptions of life insurance. Tons of them. Go back and watch those episodes to see what misconceptions you have so that you can move past those and use this very, very powerful tool. September was ways to use life insurance, and well, part of August, part of September was ways to use life insurance. I often, when doing workshops, people will say, I never knew life insurance did that. Most people know it just for the death benefit, but had no idea to all of the other ways that you can use life insurance. And so I went through some of the ways that you can do that. And then I ended it these last couple of weeks with things to consider about life insurance when you're going to get it, and then that we can come back and discuss, do the one-on-ones and fill in any gaps in coverage that you may have. So the last item that I want to talk about today, there could have been more, but I want to end this in September because I feel like I have beat you all over the head with life insurance. But today I want to end with employer provided life insurance. And if you followed me, been to a workshop, talk to me in person, watch one of these videos. When we talk about employer life insurance, I tell people to consider that as the and one, that extra point, in basketball. I don't want people to rely on it. And as we talk about it today, you'll kind of understand why. And you'll get why I encourage you to also have life insurance outside of work, right? And so many people receive life insurance covered through their employer as part of their benefits package. So it's typically offered at little or no cost to employees, right? And employer provided life insurance is often viewed as a convenient and low cost way to get coverage. However, relying solely on this type of insurance can create gaps in protection and leave your family financially vulnerable, especially when you change jobs or retire, right? Because usually you don't know if it's portable. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But most employers, and I really and truly don't know where the coverage is now, but employer provided life insurance, also known as group life insurance because it's group, because there's the entire employee staff is the group, right? And usually offers a death benefit equal to 1 to 2 times your annual salary. I think in most places now it might be 1 times your salary, right? And when you think about it, some people might think, okay, well, that's good, right? But it's typically far below the recommended coverage amount. So if they're offering 1 to 2 times your annual salary and the recommended coverage amount is 10 to 12 times your annual income, you can see where there's a huge gap, right? And so if your family relies heavily on your income, 1 to 2 times your annual salary is not going to be enough, right? Um, so you just want to make sure that's where those outside policies come from. It's great to have that. Or let's even look at this because I've come across it with some people that I speak with. They have that, let's say they have 50 or $75,000 in coverage through their job, and they have a mortgage and they have no coverage outside, no life insurance coverage outside of that job. Well, they have a mortgage of $150,000, right? So what happens if that person passes? That family now has to figure out how to pay that mortgage, right? And think about it, if it's you, which I see a great deal of, if it's you and maybe a a a, a grown child, but not grown enough to cover a mortgage, meaning they might be 20, 21, 25, right? May not have a job significant enough to cover that full mortgage. Now they're responsible for that and trying to cover your service and trying to pay all of the bills and doing all of these things. So you want to make sure you have that extra coverage, right? That's where we talk about that gap in coverage because now they don't have your income. Now if you have a mortgage, that mortgage is not paid in full. So they now don't, that asset has not been protected, right? So just having employer coverage is not enough. You also have to think about the portability issue. So it's a major drawback of life insurance that it's usually tied to your employment. So if you leave your job, retire, or you're laid off, or the company closes, or whatever, you might lose that coverage entirely. Now, some policies offer the option to convert group coverage to an individual policy, but this can be expensive, especially if you're older or have health issues. So you have to weigh out all of those things, right? So this makes employer provided life insurance an unstable source of protection if your job situation changes. It's better than nothing, but you still want to have something outside of that because you just don't know what's going to happen with that job, right? Um, so you want to make sure that you supplement employer coverage with personal policies. Employer provided life insurance often has limited coverage. It's advisable to treat it as a supplement, right? The and one, as I call it, that extra point to your own individual life insurance policy rather than your primary source of protection. Purchasing a separate term policy or permanent life insurance policy ensures that you have adequate coverage that stays with you regardless of employee or employment status, right? And group policy restrictions. So typically with group policy life insurance, they may have restrictions on who can be covered and may exclude benefits for part-time employees, contractors, or dependents. Additionally, group policies often have minimal options for tailoring coverage, riders, or customization, making them less flexible compared to the individual policies. Again, looking at that policy from work as the extra point. It's just a supplement to whatever you have. It's a plus, right? But you're not relying on that um, to be able to provide your loved ones with anything, right? So while the employer provided life insurance can be a valuable benefit, it's not designed to meet comprehensive long-term financial needs. So relying on it alone, again, may leave significant gaps in coverage, especially if you have mortgage debts or dependents, right? If it's just you, Okay. You still want to make sure you have even something small outside of that because again, you never know what's going to happen with that job so that someone else doesn't have to pay for final arrangements and all of that. So you may not have as much in coverage outside of your job as you would if you had a family and other debts. So reviewing your overall life insurance strategy and supplementing it with individual coverage ensures that your family is protected in the long run, regardless of that employment change, right? So do me a favor, pull out your life insurance policy that you have from work. Because most people, let's be honest, you get, you know, it'll ask you because so much stuff is now just done over, computer. It'll ask you for the beneficiaries. Who's your beneficiary? And you fill in that information. But most people don't read their policies, their life insurance policies that they get at work. Most people don't, right? So how much is it? How much do you even have? Do you even know? Who are your beneficiaries? Right? Sometimes people have their children as beneficiaries and their children are under 18, right? Is it portable? Meaning can you take it with you when you go? But also, what is it going to cost you when you take it? Because it's no longer now going to be group insurance. So can you take it with you when it leaves? What happens if the company closes? Also, this is about any life insurance policy you have. Do the beneficiaries know who to contact with the insurance company, with the insurance company if something happens to you? Do they even know? Is there even a printed copy of the policy at home? Yeah, it's in that stuff at work. You can log in to your system at work and pull down a copy. But if something happens to you, how is somebody else going to get that copy? So is there a printed copy somewhere at home that your loved ones know where to find it? And then in that know who to contact, what company and all of that in case they ever need it. Read through the policy, understand what's covered, and make sure your beneficiaries know where to find your policy and who to contact if needed. Remember, life insurance is a necessity and it's a great tool when we talk about getting your financial house in order. Life insurance is part of that. Leaving your loved ones without your income or trying to figure out how to pay for a funeral in debt, it's irresponsible. But so is leaving them and you to cover the cost of long-term care. So when you talk about you love your family or your children, the very least you can do is have adequate life insurance coverage, right? So you know where I'm going with this. What's the favorite thing? It's been it for the last 2 months. Life insurance is definitely the favorite thing. So what are you going to do now? Please, please, please complete the life insurance calculator to see how much coverage you should have. The link is in the description below. Figure that out, then look at what you have, right? See where their gap is. Schedule that free life insurance consultation with me and let's discuss options so that we can fill the gaps in your coverage. When we talk about life insurance, credit, budgeting, just your whole financial relationship, your whole financial plan, it's a process to get it all in play, right? So by now, these 2 months, you should have your life insurance in play. Thank you for those who have reached out and scheduled appointments. I'm glad that we've able to get you covered and close those gaps. But it's about the process. Don't keep listening to the stuff and not moving forward on it, right? Please don't do that. If this information has been helpful to you, subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn notifications on so that you don't miss a training and go back and watch any past episodes that speak to your soul and what you need in your financial relationship. And also be sure to share this channel with other people. You never know what somebody is looking for. You never know what somebody prayed about last night. Be a blessing, right? Be an absolute blessing. Also, I lead with this oftentimes. I leave with this because oftentimes people will say, "Oh, I just never did it because I thought I would have more time. Like I just didn't do it. I thought I would have more time." And the trouble is that you think that you have time and you don't necessarily have time. And I don't always mean because the y- because you're called home to glory. It's also about planning for retirement. It's also about planning for long-term care and all of that stuff and being able to to get the lower cost of insurance when you can, right? And it's almost kind of like I'd say to people all of the time, don't wait until you need your credit to try to fix it, right? Don't wait until you need life insurance, the wills, the powers of attorney, and then trying to get it. The time to get it is now, right? The time to get it is now. So always remember, give yourself some grace. Keep striving for your next level. Never, ever, ever give up on you, and always invest in you. I promise you it's the best investment that you will make, and you will never, ever, ever regret it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy Monday, the last day of September. And again, go out and buy some extra groceries today. Stock up on a little extra because the strike at the port is coming tomorrow. And as a result, supply chain is going to be backed up, which means what? Higher prices to us. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Be sure to join me for the private online Q&A immediately following. The link is in the description. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn notifications on so you never miss this opportunity. Thank you again, and I will see you